good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Friday's edition of Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. The big story we are tracking is, of course, D. Gukesh, who's become the youngest person to clinch the World Championship title in chess. We'll get you more on that. Let's begin first up with the top stories in this segment. Prime Minister Modi is set to visit Prayagraj today to inspect the ongoing development work for the upcoming Mahakumbh Mela. Prime Minister's visit underscores the government's main focus on ensuring a robust planning for the same. During his visit, the Prime Minister will also perform pooja at the key religious sites and will also inaugurate multiple projects worth approximately 5,500 crore rupees. Including 10 new projects as well, which includes advanced water treatment systems to ensure zero discharge of untreated water into the Ganges. Another key highlight of this visit by the Prime Minister will be the launch of Kumbh Chatbot, which is designed to provide real-time updates and guidance to the visitors attending the event next year. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will initiate a debate on the Constitution in the Lok Sabha today. The Lok Sabha will begin a two-day debate on Constitution to mark its 75th anniversary with Rajnath Singh, who is set to initiate the debate. Prime Minister Modi is also expected to give a reply on Saturday. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will also lead a similar discussion in the Rajya Sabha on 16th of December. The debate was a key demand of the opposition. It is set to begin after the question hour in the Lok Sabha. Ahead of this session, Prime Minister Modi even held a meet with Home Minister Amit Shah and Party President JP Nadda to strategize. Meanwhile, the winter session of the Parliament is scheduled to end on 20th of December.
कांग्रेस पार्टी और अन्य विपक्षी दलों ने जिस प्रकार से संविधान के बारे में हमारे बीजेपी के ऊपर बहुत सारी टिप्पणियां की थी, और अगर वो ईमानदारी से चर्चा करना चाहते हैं तो उनको शांत रहकर अपनी बात को कहना चाहिए, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी भी पूरा जवाब देने को तैयार है।
In the Bengaluru techie suicide case, Atul Subhash's mother-in-law and brother-in-law have been detained by the cops. By the Karnataka police. In his 24-page suicide note, he had accused his wife as well as in-laws of harassment and for filing false cases against him. Atul's case has resulted in a massive uproar in the country, with nationwide protests in cities including the national capital Kolkata, Hyderabad, as protesters are demanding justice for Atul Subhash. An FIR has also been filed against Atul's wife Nikita and her family under sections of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. The police teams have been coordinating with local authorities in Jaunpur, while Nikita, his estranged wife, and her father are still absconding, and police are searching for their whereabouts.
उसने फिर पैसे की डिमांड की थी। हमारा बेटा कहा कि नहीं, हमने बिना पापा से पूछे हुए आपको पैसा दे दिया है, जो कि मुझे रिटर्न चाहिए। तो वो कही कि ठीक है, मैं अभी यहाँ कोरोना बहुत ज़्यादा है, मैं अपने नाती को और बेटी को लेकर जाती हूँ जौनपुर, उसके बाद आपसे बात करूँगी। वहाँ जाने के बाद उसने कहा कि तुमको पैसे चाहिए ना, ऑनलाइन अपनी बहू से मेरे बेटा के अकाउंट में पैसा उसने भेज दिया। उसके बाद उसने क्या रचा, मैं तो सोच भी नहीं सकता था इस सब बात को। लेकिन उसके बाद जनवरी से उसने केस डालना चालू किया। मेरा बेटा कहा कि पापा ये तो केस डाल दी है, अब तो आएगी नहीं है।
A massive fire broke out at a private hospital in Tamil Nadu's Dindigul area. At least 6 people, including a minor, were killed in the fire. All the 6 were found unconscious in a lift. They were rushed to the hospital but were declared broad dead. As per officials, the victims were suffocated to death. The patients were rescued and admitted to a nearby hospital. Officials rescued 30 inpatients of the hospital. It is suspected that the fire was caused as a result of short circuit. Government doctors from Madurai are also deployed for the assistance. Ahead of the Delhi elections, Congress has released its first list of 21 candidates in a high-stakes electoral move. The party has announced Sandeep Dixit as its candidate from New Delhi constituency. It is Sandeep Dixit versus Arvind Kejriwal in New Delhi. The New Delhi seat is currently held by Arvind Kejriwal. Dixit is a son of former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dixit. The seat is expected to witness a high-stakes battle as Dixit challenges the AAP Supremo.
नहीं, पहले तो पार्टी का धन्यवाद करता हूं, ये मौका दिया है। और देखिए, ऐसा था पिछले 10 साल से, आपने भी देखा होगा, मैंने हर मौके पे जब भी इन्होंने या तो अपनी वायदा खिलाफी की, या दिल्ली के साथ गद्दारी की, या भ्रष्टाचार किया, या काम नहीं किया, उसका उल्लेख करता रहा। और आपको याद होगा, मैं आज से 7-8 साल पहले से आप लोगों से कह रहा था कि जिस तरीके का भ्रष्टाचार इस सरकार में हो रहा है, जब बाहर आएगा तो आप लोग इस बात का समझ भी नहीं पाएंगे कि कितनी भ्रष्ट कोई सरकार हो सकती है।
Actor Mohan Babu has been booked under attempt to murder charge after he attacked a journalist. The incident occurred when the journalist who was covering a story regarding a tiff between Mohan Babu and his son Manoj was assaulted at the actor's residence. The journalist claimed that Mohan Babu grabbed a microphone and attacked him, which caused him a head injury as well. After further details, statements from the journalist and eyewitness, the charge was upgraded to attempt to murder. The ABVP has claimed that screening of the movie Sabarmati Report at JNU campus was disrupted due to alleged stone belting by unidentified individuals. The president of ABVP body said that the few students received injuries when some people started pelting stones at them. As per officials, stones were allegedly pelted at the Sabarmati badminton court where the screening was taking place. However, there is no immediate reaction from the university administration on the students' union.
प्लान था कि हम साबरमती रिपोर्ट, जो कि साबरमती में गोधरा में क्या हुआ कार सेवकों के साथ, उसको उजागर करते हुए मूवी जो साबरमती रिपोर्ट है उसकी स्क्रीनिंग साबरमती ढाबा पर करवा रहे थे। सवेरे से ही लेफ्ट के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में और बाकी लोगों में ऐसी सुगबुगाहट थी कि ऐसी मूवी की स्क्रीनिंग ना हो, और ऐसा पहली बार नहीं हुआ है। पास्ट में भी उन्होंने ऐसी मूवी स्क्रीनिंग्स का, ऐसे कार्यक्रमों का विरोध किया है।
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde held a meet with Shiv Sena office bearers, MLAs and even MPs as part of the party's preparations for the crucial Mumbai civic body polls. The polls are likely to be held next year. At the meeting, newly elected MLAs put forth their views on strengthening the Shiv Sena. The meeting also underscores Shiv Sena's focus on consolidating its position in Mumbai ahead of the important civic polls.
महापालिका चुनाव के ऊपर थी, और जैसे विधानसभा का चुनाव महायुति ने बड़ी ताकत से जीता हुआ है, लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री हुई है, न भूतो न भविष्य ऐसी जीत हुई है, और मुंबई का विकास करना है। 2.5 साल में जो हमने काम किया है, हमारी सरकार ने, महायुति ने, गड्ढों से मुक्त मुंबई, प्रदूषण मुक्त मुंबई, यहाँ पर सुरक्षित मुंबई।
Meanwhile, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said that the state government would begin verification of applications for Aadhaar cards in Assam, further adding that the government will reject applications of those families who had not applied to be a part of the NRC. The decision to link Aadhaar cards with NRC applications had been announced by Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma in September this year. However, the opposition slammed the Assam cabinet's decision to make NRC application a precondition for obtaining Aadhaar card in the state. Now, inflation in the country has fallen to around 5.5%, which is still above the target range set by the RBI governor. Getting you all those details in our business segment. India's headline inflation fell to 5.48%, down from 6.21% in October. According to the November inflation data that was released on Thursday, the year-on-year inflation rate based on All India Consumer Price Index for the month of November over November 2023 against last year was higher than last year. Corresponding inflation rates for the rural and urban area are 5.95% and 4.8% respectively. With this, the headline inflation has fallen within the tolerance limit of the RBI that's been set. Finance Minister Sitharaman on Thursday hit out at Congress leader and leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi with facts on banking schemes and digital payments and said that the Congress sign had a penchant for making baseless statements. The exchange follows Gandhi's meeting with a delegation from the All India Banking Officers Confederation. In a post on social media platform, FM highlighted that during the UPA regime, PSBs suffered due to indiscriminate lending and phone banking practices which even deteriorated the banking financial sector. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on Wednesday addressed the Lok Sabha saying that the opposition is creating a fake narrative on the issue of privatization of railways. While responding to concerns raised during a debate in the Parliament, the Union Minister of Railways denied the claim that the Railways Amendment Bill would lead to privatization of the bills. He said that it was an attempt by the opposition to create a false narrative, adding that the amendment is aimed solely at improving the operational efficiency of the Indian Railways. The Union Minister also appealed to the opposition to not mislead the public in such a manner so as to enhance and enable the advancement of goals of the railway sector. Ashwini Vaishnav further informed the Parliament that the Indian Railways will add an additional 12,000 general coaches to trains. Billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries Limited has signed a deal to import crude oil worth $12 to $13 billion a year from Russia's Rosneft for 10 years. Russia's state oil firm Rosneft will supply up to 5 lakh barrels per day of crude oil to Reliance. The 10-year deal at current prices is $12 to $13 billion. Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, has achieved a historic milestone as the first individual to surpass $400 billion net worth. The remarkable financial feat comes after a series of developments which included a dramatic rise in Tesla's stock and SpaceX valuation, as well as Musk's association with President-elect Donald Trump. Musk's wealth recovery has been nothing short of extraordinary. After a sharp $200 billion drop in late 2022, his fortune rebounded significantly this year. Tesla's shares have also soared by over 65% since Trump's election win last month, as investors now anticipate regulatory changes favorable to Tesla, such as streamlined self-driving car rollout and even elimination of tax credits benefiting Tesla's competitors. The Ministry of Defence on Thursday said that it has signed a 13,500 crore deal with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the Defence PSU, to procure 12 Sukhoi jets. According to the Ministry of Defence, the jets will consist of 62.2% indigenous content. The Russia-origin Sukhoi 30 MKI jets are manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. With transfer of technology, the HAL has been producing Sukhoi 30 MKI fighters for the All India Force under an inter-government framework. And shifting focus to our international segment, where we get you all that's happening in Middle East and especially from Syria after the fall of the Assad regime. Thousands gathered in Kabul to mourn the death of Taliban minister who was killed in a suicide bombing. The funeral of for Khalil Haqqani was held in eastern Afghanistan, eastern province. Haqqani's death is the most profile casualty of an assault in the country since Taliban's takeover 3 years ago. The blast that occurred at his ministry in the Afghan capital also killed 5 others. The minister was related to the acting interior minister and the leader of powerful faction within the Taliban. Tight security was put in place as high-ranking officials attended the funeral. Armed men guarded the coffin draped in Taliban flag as loudspeakers blasted sermons and eulogies. Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan also condemned the act, saying that terrorism in any form is not acceptable. However, different accounts of the bombing have been shared. While one story suggests that the bomber was waiting for Haqqani outside and detonated a bomb when he saw him, on the other account suggests that suicide bomber was a refugee and had to meet Haqqani. America's east coast is seeing unprecedented snowfall as an atmospheric river and developing cyclone have brought in heavy rainfall and fierce winds. This has created both challenges and benefits for resorts in the area. Although This also highlights the industry's increasing vulnerability to climate change. The natives are happy as the city has been experiencing a drought since summer. This is replenishing nearby lakes and ponds, though floods are expected and warnings have been issued to skiers. The holiday destinations have started gearing up for potential power outage from the damage that's been resulted by the winds, which may exceed in the upcoming days. Macau has been lit up by decoration across the streets, parks and squares to celebrate the return of 25th anniversary of Macau's return to the motherland. Decorations along with Chinese national flag and Macau Sar can be spotted at various landmarks and ports across the city. At the main portlands, large lights have been set up as celebrations have been taking place, while Macau's parks and squares showcase an elaborate flower display, creating a festive vibe. Citizens have shared their happiness over the event and hope for future, as they believe that one country, two systems have helped them prosper beyond imagination. Macau's return to motherland is a celebration of Chinese sovereignty over Macau, which resumed on 20th of December 1999 and led to the establishment of Macau Sar. FBI Director Christopher Wray says that he plans to resign at the end of President Joe Biden's term in January. The announcement comes a week and a half after President-elect Donald Trump announced his intent to nominate loyalist Kash Patel for the position. Wray had previously been named by Trump and began the 10-year long term that was meant to insulate the agency from political influence of changing administrations in 2017 after Trump fired then FBI Director James Comey.
I was appalled, like you, at the violence and destruction that we saw that day. I was appalled that you, our country's elected leaders, were victimized right here in these very halls. That attack, that siege, was criminal behavior, plain and simple, and it's behavior that we, the FBI, view as domestic terrorism.
In a press conference, U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries stated that Democrats will not support any massive tax cuts for the wealthy in the upcoming 119 Congress. He accused many House Republicans of pushing for tax cuts that could increase deficits and potentially lead to cuts in Social Security and Medicare. But Democrats are strongly opposed to the idea. However, Jeffries added that his party is committed to working with Republicans on bipartisan solutions to address issues like the high cost of living and improve the lives of everyday Americans.
It's become increasingly apparent that many of my House Republican colleagues want to jam big tax cuts for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected down the throats of the American people and try to pay for those tax cuts, which will not benefit everyday Americans, by cutting Social Security and Medicare. This is not a hypothetical, it's not hype, it's not hyperbole. It's happening before our very eyes.
President-elect Donald Trump has announced that he's selecting Carrie Lake as a director of Voice of America. Lake, a staunch loyalist who ran unsuccessfully for Arizona governor and Senate seat, will head the congressionally funded broadcaster that provides independent news reporting worldwide. She's also regarded as an immigration hardliner who was a television news anchor in Phoenix for nearly 3 decades until she left in 2021 after making a series of controversial statements on social media, which included sharing COVID-19 misinformation during the pandemic time. The European Union has unveiled a new €30 million assistance package on Thursday to support Belarusian opposition supporters and exiles, bringing the total EU support since 2020 to €140 million. Speaking in Brussels alongside opposition leader and European Parliament President, Kaus highlighted that the funding would protect human rights defenders and promote culture and education in exile. During the forum, he even talked about the importance of Belarus joining the European Union as an alternative to Russian control.
Today, I am happy to announce a new assistance package for the people of Belarus worth €30 million. It will help sustain independent voices, protect human rights defenders.
In wake of unprecedented crisis in Syria, some European Union countries are now doubling down their decision to rapidly halt asylum procedures for Syrian migrants in Europe. Austria, Belgium, Germany, Greece, Finland, Ireland and even Sweden and non-EU country Norway are some countries that have suspended asylum applications from Syrians in wake of Assad's fall. France is weighing whether to take a similar action. Talking of statistics, over 47,000 asylum claims by Syrians are pending in Germany alone, a main destination in Europe for those who have fled since 2011. Canadian Deputy Prime Minister said that Canada would respond to unjustified tariffs if President-elect Donald Trump imposes sweeping tariffs on Canada products. Trump, note, has threatened to impose a 25% tax on all products entering the US from Canada and Mexico unless they stem the flow of migrants and drugs. Speaking after a meeting between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and over provincial premiers Freeland and Canadian officials, in fact, these are officials who have said that Canadian officials have been re-evaluating their ties with the US in order to weigh in the importance of Canada in this bilateral equation. As of today, Canada is a top export destination for 36 US state and nearly 3.6 billion Canadian dollars worth of goods and services across the border each day.
A number of premiers spoke out strongly in favor of a robust Canadian response to unjustified tariffs. Some premiers proactively identify products that their provinces produce and export to the United States.
Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu and US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan discussed the situation in Syria during a meeting in Jerusalem on Thursday, with Netanyahu focusing on the need to support Syrian minorities and prevent terrorist activity against Israel from the Syrian territory. Sullivan's visit to the region comes as US and Israeli airstrikes target Islamic State and aim to secure chemical weapons stocks. Meanwhile, Netanyahu government has authorized Israeli forces to temporarily control a buffer zone along the Golan Heights, which could lead to a prolonged Israeli presence in Syria. A former anti-narcotics chief was extradited to the US by the government of Bolivia as an individual faces drug trafficking charges in a New York court. He served as an anti-narcotics chief from 2006 to 2019, allegedly helped facilitate plain-board shipments of cocaine to the US. US State Department had previously announced a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to Davila's conviction. However, in November, Bolivia's Supreme Court approved Davila's immediate extradition to the US, though he denies any wrongdoing. And the big story that we're tracking from the world of sports is, of course, D. Gukesh, who scripted history by becoming the youngest world champion in the world of chess. We get you all the details in this segment. Indian Grandmaster D. Gukesh has become the youngest world chess champion at 18 years, at the age of 18, after defeating title holder Ding Liren of China in the 14th and the last game of a thrilling showdown here. In the match, D. Gukesh scored the requisite point as against Chinese opponent by winning the last classical time control game, a 14-game match that seemed headed for a draw for most part. Before Gukesh's feat on Thursday, the legendary Garry Kasparov of Russia was the youngest world chess champion when he won the title at the age of 22, dethroning Anatoly Karpov in 1985. Prime Minister Modi congratulated D. Gukesh on winning Chess World Championship and called it historic and exemplary. Prime Minister Modi said that his triumph has not only etched his name in the annals of chess history, but has also inspired millions of young minds to dream big and pursue excellence. Indian Grandmaster D. Gukesh scripted history by becoming the youngest ever World Chess Championship. He achieved this feat by defeating reigning champion Ding Liren. Vishwanathan Anand, a mentor and inspiration for countless players back home, expressed his joy in a heartfelt message and also praised Ding. At 18 years of age, Gukesh is now the youngest Indian to win the Classical Chess World Championship title, following the footsteps of Vishwanathan Anand. Gujarat Titans have named Praveen Tambe as their bowling coach for the upcoming edition of Women's Premier League. The Giants roped Tambe in after parting ways with Nushin Al-Khadir, whose 2-year contract with them ended earlier. Tambe is known for the hat-trick he took for the Rajasthan Royals in the Indian Premier League clash against Kolkata Knight Riders in 2014. During the second test of the series that was played at the Adelaide Oval, Bumrah experienced some discomfort while bowling. Rohit also gave Bumrah a few short spells, which propelled people to think that the star Indian speedster was carrying a niggle. The rumours became even more prominent after Bumrah skipped the first day of India's training session before the Brisbane Test. Much to the respite of Indian cricket fans, Jasprit Bumrah has now returned to training. The third test match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy series starts on 14th of December. The series currently hangs in balance with both the teams winning one match each. Ahead of the much-awaited match that will be played in Brisbane, Mohammad Kaif has called out technical flaws in Kohli's batting and said that everybody knows how to get him out. And child rights body has issued a notice to Diljit Dosanjh. Getting you all these details in this segment. Chandigarh Commission for Protection of Child Rights has advised singer-actor Diljit Dosanjh to refrain from singing alcohol-themed songs during his performance in the city. The advisory was issued by the CCPCR chairperson, who specifically asked the artist to not perform songs that contain words like alcohol in it and refrain from using words related to violence and drugs. In similar incident last month, the Telangana government had issued a directive to stop the singer from performing songs that promote alcohol and drugs. Actor Allu Arjun moved to Telangana High Court to quash an FIR registered against him in connection with the death of a woman during the premiere of Pushpa 2 movie. The woman's 8-year-old son was also injured and has since been hospitalized. The incident occurred when a large crowd gathered outside Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad to catch a glimpse of the actor who made a surprise appearance at the premiere of the movie. Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine as Lights is once again in news for securing position at the Critics' Choice nomination for 2025. And with that, it's a wrap on today's edition of Quick Morning. Stay tuned for Live This Morning coming up at 7 a.m.